rugged beauty. Few places are blessed with such a variety of scenery and activities for every member of the family. From pastoral mountains to ocean surf, rustic river lodges to modern resorts. Fishing, clam digging, hiking, camping, or just relaxing in beautiful surroundings. Perhaps it's the huge offshore rock formations that make the drives north and south from Gold Beach so spectacular. Then again, it could be the beautiful headlands covered by lush forest. But there is also room to explore true wilderness. Gold Beach marks the end of the Rogue River's twisting, churning journey to the sea and the beginning of limitless river adventure. What better place to golf than at Cedar Bend, nestled along a meandering coastal stream? No two holes even remotely resemble one another. Or fishing from the legendary Rogue River to the many smaller streams and rivers along the coast, Gold Beach offers year-round angling. As the sun sets lazily on the horizon, you found the real treasure of the southern Oregon coast, Gold Beach. The oldest steam-powered whaler was built in Gold Beach over 100 years ago. View displays on Indian life, including rocks with petroglyphs. You can relive other historical adventures at Jerry's Rogue River Museum, located at the port of Gold Beach, or the Curry County Museum, located at the Curry County Fairgrounds, and see exhibits on commercial salmon fishing, hunting, logging, and gold mining. Pioneer artifacts bring to life the hardships and triumphs of the people who came to settle and forge out civilization in this secluded area. The 1860s was a time of change for the Rogue River Canyon. Mule-pack trains, guided by people like Hathaway Jones, led settlers to future homesteads and delivered mail and freight to remote gold mining camps. The Rogue Canyon was occupied by a tough breed of mountain men who lived off the land and river. Early river travel was difficult, with sails, oars, and muscle being the only means of upriver navigation. As time progressed, a settlement began to grow at the mouth of the Rogue. It was named Gold Beach due to the rich deposits of gold dust found at the river's mouth. The 1900s brought another form of gold to this small town, king salmon. Each year, thousands of salmon migrated into the Rogue's cool waters. Commercial gillnet fishermen caught the salmon, and canneries were built to process the endless supply of the salmon that the Rogue River provided. Annually, an excess of 200,000 pounds of canned salmon was exported from the mouth of the Rogue. This made Gold Beach the nation's salmon capital. The advent of the first motorboat was in the 1920s, and commercial fishermen were towed upstream to drift net the more productive waters. As motorboats were improved, freight and passengers began to make the all-day journey upriver. Early rivermen were a special breed of whitewater pioneers, motoring upstream or floating downstream. These rivermen explored the beauty of the Rogue River Canyon and conquered what was then called the River of No Return. At the mouth of the Rogue River, 2 ferry boats operated to transport travelers across this large river. High winter water could stop travelers for days while they waited for the waters to recede. The 1920s brought change. The Roosevelt Highway was built, and vehicles began to travel the Pacific Coast Highway. The Roosevelt Highway was nothing but a single lane of gravel and mud spanning the Oregon coast. During the 1920s, a major highway bridge was constructed to span the Rogue. It was finished in 1932 and dedicated to Patterson Bridge, named after the governor of Oregon. It is a masterpiece of European design that still stands today as testament to these early craftsmen. As the highway was improved, tourists and fishermen made annual treks to Gold Beach to ride the Rogue and fish its famous waters. The early passenger boats took all day to complete the trip to Agness, 32 miles upriver. Skilled boatmen enjoyed showing passengers the thrill of the Rogue's riffles and the excitement of fishing the Rogue. During the 1950s, the Rogue River hog line attracted thousands of fishermen in hopes of catching a migrating king salmon fresh from the ocean. The hog line was a string of boats that often spanned the entire river. Tangled lines and lots of excitement was the order of the day. Thousands of salmon were caught annually, and the Rogue soon became the most famous fishing destination on the West Coast. More famous than the Rogue River Salmon Run was the boat trip up the Rogue River. Tourists nationwide told tales of their adventures on the Rogue, which in turn attracted more river travelers. Early passenger boats were propeller-driven, and at times had to unload passengers to cross shallow gravel bars. In 1960, two brothers, Jerry and Alden Boyce, began to experiment with a new boat design that was to revolutionize Rogue River boat tours. The new boat was able to operate in inches of water while fully loaded, and became an immediate success. People came nationwide to travel upriver on the first Coast Guard certified jet boat. Jerry's original Rogue jet boat tour grew in popularity and is now one of the most famous attractions on the Oregon coast. Jerry's Rogue River Jets offers tour bus companies custom 1 to 2.5 hour boat trips to accommodate their schedules and needs. The glass-covered boat is also available for these shorter tours. For information and reservations, call locally 247-4571 or toll free 1-800-451-3645. Today, you can enjoy nationally famous Rogue River jet boat trips in comfort and safety in Coast Guard certified jet boats. On the lower portion of the river, you will see an abundance of sea lions, herons, and pelicans gathering to feed in the bountiful waters of the Rogue River estuary. A 64-mile excursion departs from Jerry's dock for Agness and return, while a 104-mile trip travels beyond Agness into the Rogue's upper reaches. Jerry's Rogue River jet boat tours are offered year-round on this federally protected waterway and wilderness area. Dense forests of cedar, myrtle, fir, maple, churning rapids, and placid still waters await your view. This beautiful wilderness country literally teems with wild animals: deer, bear, eagles, otter, salmon, steelhead, osprey, and many other creatures abound in and along the Rogue. The 64-mile round trip into the scenic portion of the river takes about 6 hours. It covers the historic route, which in 1895 took 3 days to complete. Along the way, your boat captain will make frequent stops to point out wildlife. Unusual rock formations and vertical sedimentary layers, which served as a natural sluice box for early gold miners, make stories of history and river adventure come alive. Names along the river reflect early day settlers and events. Wake Up Riley River, named after a gold miner in the 1870s. Massacre Rock, site of one of the early Indian battles. Rachel's Delight, Nail Keg Riffle, Skookum House Canyon, Bacon Flat, and Copper Canyon. As your boat skims over the riffles and into the picturesque canyons, you can observe and photograph wildlife in their native habitat. Since the boat approaches quickly, most wildlife are undisturbed by your initial presence. At the upper end of your trip, you'll stop at Agness for lunch in rustic upriver surroundings. The 104-mile round trip winds its way beyond Agness and into the high country. This is a true wilderness adventure. The majestic forests and sheer cliffs that surround you can be reached only by boat, raft, or hiking trail. The most popular is the Rogue River Trail that runs on the north side of the river. This area first gained its fame from early 19th century trappers and explorers who told of abundant wildlife, rivers teeming with fish, and some of the world's most spectacular scenery. But the Rogue River was given a permanent place in history by the famous Western author Zane Grey. Today, backpackers can share the same inspiration on the Rogue Trail, which takes you into the recesses of the mighty Rogue Canyon. Your skilled pilot navigates carefully through turbulent whitewater rapids at Clay Hill, Camp Tacoma, and Little Wildcat, and skims over both shallow riffles and into deep canyons with water depths to 100 feet. Huggins Canyon, with the cliffs of Devil's Backbone towering above you. The 104-mile trip normally goes upriver as far as the Devil's Staircase at the foot of the fierce rapids of Blossom Bar, which are impassable by passenger boats. Then downstream for a lunch stop at Paradise Bar Wilderness Lodge. Overnight accommodations are available if you wish to spend a night in the Rogue River Wilderness. Call for information on our wilderness package rates. The trip downstream offers new scenery and excitement on every bend in the river. Your jet boat pilot will provide an exciting and safe trip by avoiding large boulders and sharp rocks as he cuts through whitewater rapids that require fast reflexes and excellent boat handling. The pilots at Jerry's Rogue Jets are natives of the Rogue River Canyon. Jerry retired in 1971, but his nephews, Court and Bill Boyce, and his grandsons, Jeff Laird and Darren Stitcher, still carry on the family tradition of excellence. All the pilots at Jerry's are experienced boatmen and excellent narrators. Tom Biggs, Tim Woodwire, and Tim Brickner are full of stories and tall tales that will keep you informed on all aspects of Rogue River history. Watchful eyes will often spot a bear walking along the riverbank. Your pilot will stop the boat to provide photo opportunities of bear, bald eagle, and deer as they live in their natural habitat along the Rogue River shoreline. Make sure you bring your camera and binoculars. You will need plenty of film to capture all the great scenery along the Rogue River. Also, your video camera will capture some very memorable home video, so bring it along with extra batteries. Then, on down the river for more rapids and scenery. Camp Tacoma Rapid is pure whitewater, filled with sharp rocks that your experienced pilot will avoid. Clay Hill Rapids is a difficult rapid which requires a spinning turn before attempting the second half of the rapid. This is a safe and very exciting part of the 104-mile trip, which will make you wish for more. This is one of the most exciting rapids on the 104-mile trip. At Jerry's, we offer a variety of river tours that are suited for all ages. If you prefer river adventures at a lower price, but still wish to enjoy the beauty of the Rogue River, our 64-mile round trip is a shorter river adventure, which has a lunch or dinner stop 32 miles upriver at Lucas Lodge, Singing Springs Resort, or Cougar Lane Lodge. Our glass-covered boat is for senior bus tours that prefer soft river adventure and maximum comfort. This boat is available for your group, but must be booked in advance. Whichever trip you choose, Jerry's Rogue Jets will always provide the perfect river tour for your group or family. Also, make sure and stop by our new Rogue River Museum and Gift Shop. River history, natural history, Rogue River geology, history of early man, and much more. Jerry's Rogue Museum is a must for all visitors to the Gold Beach area. For more details and information, call our toll-free number with your river trip questions, and let us help you plan your Rogue River vacation. Jerry's Rogue Jets and Rogue River Museum are open year-round, so call anytime. 1-800-451-3645.